In this video, I'll break down step by step exactly on how you should cancel a credit card the right way, when it makes sense to close a credit card and when it doesn't, and alternatives to canceling that may make more sense. In fact, I have over 30-something credit cards that I currently have active, and I have closed many credit cards in the past, so I'm confident to say that I have done this plenty of times. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your cards. Whether you're all in on Dave Ramsey's principles and ready to slice them up, or you're just thinking about calling up the customer service number on the back of your phone and tell them that you are considering canceling. But there are a few things that you should consider before taking the plunge. Probably the most important thing to think about before closing a credit card is how will it affect your credit? You know, there's like a big debate going on whether or not closing a credit card will wreck your credit score or, on the other hand, actually boost it. It's like everyone has a different opinion on this. So let me break down on what actually happens when you close a credit card. Credit cards are revolving lines of credit, which means that you can use them whenever you want. It's not like a loan where you receive a lump sum and have to repay a fixed amount every month until the debt is fully cleared. It's more flexible and allows you to manage your expenses as you go. When it comes to credit cards, you have a set amount of money that you can use, pay back, and use again whenever you want. So if you do decide to close a credit card, it might impact your credit score. Let me first explain when it will affect. Let's just say that you have 3 credit cards. Each one of them have a $1,000 credit limit, and each one of them have a balance of $300. In total, you have a credit limit of $3,000 and $900 worth of debt across all of your accounts. So based on this ratio right now, you have a 30% credit utilization rate. Now, if you were to maintain these balances and you decide to close off one of your accounts, you have a total credit limit of $2,000 and $900 worth of debt. This would now bring your credit utilization up to 45%. And if you're not familiar, the amounts owed portion of your credit score takes up 30% overall. This is a big role in calculating your score. Now, in this example, this is only if you have a lower credit limit and the same amount of debt. So before you actually close any credit card, typically you would have to pay off that balance within 30 days when the account is closed. So if the balance is reduced and you have a smaller credit limit, your credit utilization should be the same as it was before. This is a key thing to keep in mind when you are thinking about closing an account because it does reduce your overall available credit. And when you start racking up balances on other credit cards or accounts, it makes it a whole lot easier to end up with a higher utilization rate. So if I have a combined credit limit of $50,000, maintaining a $3,000 balance across all of my accounts has less of an impact than if I were to say to have a combined credit limit of $10,000. The next main concern that I hear people talking about when they are deciding to close their accounts is that they will think it will shorten the length of credit history. Now, this is far from the truth because credit scores take into consideration the age of open and closed accounts. If you do have an account that is in good standing, meaning that there's no delinquencies or balances, and you decide to close it, it will still have a positive effect on your credit score. So here's the thing about your credit score. When it comes to credit history, it only makes up 15%. The deal is that they take into account how long you've had your credit accounts open, your oldest one, your newest one, and the average age of all of your accounts open or closed. So if you decide to close an account that has no issues on it whatsoever, it will still have an effect on your credit score for 10 years once it is closed. The thing is that I would not recommend closing a credit card that it's like your first one. See, that account is probably gonna be your oldest, and keeping it open will let it age even more. Let's just say that you have a credit card that's been open for 5 years and it's your oldest account. If you decide to close it, that account stays at 5 years. But if you keep it open, it will have way more of a positive impact on your score. But first, I have to thank today's video sponsor, which is myself. Well, I got some pretty exciting news for you guys. I'm about to introduce you to an innovative solution that puts you in the driver's seat of your own credit repair journey. No more waiting for a live credit analyst to dictate your next move. You get to control the process yourself. My new software uses advanced AI technology to guide you through a custom plan that's designed specifically for your credit situation. It provides you with clear, actionable steps to start repairing your credit within minutes of signing up. What's more is that this software continuously monitors your progress. And if some strategies aren't working, it will suggest alternative ones to try. This ensures that you're always moving forward, always improving. And the best part is that this just isn't a quick fix. It's a tool that teaches you, empowers you, and works with you to see lasting results. Plus, it's super affordable and incredibly user-friendly, so whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro, you're gonna love the simplicity and the effectiveness of this tool. So stay tuned for the big reveal. Trust me, you don't wanna miss out on this game changer in credit repair. I do have a sign-up link down below so you can be notified once it launches, but if you're watching this video and it's already active, the link will also be down there as well. Now back to our video. So even with the information that you know now, it is totally fine if you're still considering to close your account. In my opinion, I usually would not recommend closing any accounts that are in good standing. There are actually quite a few benefits into keeping them open, even if you really don't use them, you know? I mean, do I personally use every single one of these credit cards that I have in this book? Nope. Not at all. Sometimes I just throw a small purchase on them every 6 months or to a year just to keep them active so the creditor doesn't automatically close my account. But that's about it, really. Keeping an account open gives you access to more credit and makes it easier to maintain a lower overall credit utilization. Plus, it also helps you increase your length of credit history. But here are a few reasons on why I may consider closing a credit card. The simplest way is just to manage your cards. Not everyone has the time or wants to keep track of multiple logins or due dates for different cards. Some prefer just have one or two to manage, so whatever makes your personal finances simpler, go ahead and give that a try. Another reason on why you may want to consider closing a credit card is to bring down your overall credit limit. I know, it sounds strange at first, but hear me out. You don't actually have to close a card to actually do this. You can always give a ring to customer service and request a limit reduction. The thing is that some banks or credit card issuers will have a cap on how much credit that they can approve you for. Let's just say that you're qualified for a personal credit limit of $100,000. No matter how hard you try, you won't get approved for another card. It's just the way it works. But if you were to reduce your credit limit or close a card, it increases your chances of getting approved for another one. That said, by doing this, it actually opens up to a whole new world of sign-up bonuses. Some credit card issuers will let you snag those bonuses every couple of years. Now, not all of them offer this perk like American Express, but others like Chase or Bank of America, usually it will give you a green light to claim that bonus again within 2 to 4 years after the last one. So if you're like me and always on the hunt for bonus points, it may be worth considering. Speaking of which, the main reason most folks think about closing a card is because it's a card that comes with annual fees and, well, they're just not that useful. So for example, let's just say that you decide to sign up with the Amex Platinum. So with this card, there is a huge annual fee of $695. But here's the thing. With all of those perks and benefit it offers, you can actually break even or even get more value from this card to outpace the annual fee. Now, if you're not someone who travels all that often, doesn't really use Uber or take advantage of the other perks that this card offers, then you're basically just paying for a glorified coupon book. In that case, the annual fee is actually costing you more just to hold on to the card, then it would make sense to cancel. But before you actually decide to move forward with closing an account, there are actually some options that I would recommend doing first. If your credit card has an annual fee and that's the main reason why you're thinking about closing your account, the best thing to do is actually call the credit card issuer or send them a secure message through chat. Just let them know that you're considering closing the card because of the high fee and see if it's possible for them to waive it or offer you some type of points as compensation. It really depends on the issuer because some are more likely to help while others may not do anything. Personally, I've had good luck with American Express, but with Chase or Citibank, your chances may be a little bit lower. So that's the first step that I would take. Check if you can get a fee waived or some points to make up for it. The next thing that I would do before consider closing an account is to downgrade the card. Most credit card companies actually offer a downgrade option for the cards with annual fees. So let me give you a real life example. Imagine that you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Instead of closing that card and losing out on your active account history, you can simply downgrade it to the Chase Freedom Flex or Unlimited. This is a win-win situation for both parties. They get to keep you as a customer and you get to maintain your account history for a longer period of time. However, it is important to note that not all cards have a downgrade option, so just make sure that you check on that first. Also, different issuers may have specific rules to consider. So if you have an American Express Platinum card, the lowest card that you get downgrade to is the green card. It still has an annual fee, but it is much lower than the Amex Platinum. But also note that whenever you do downgrade a card, you will not be able to get the sign-up bonus for that card. If I were to downgrade the American Express Platinum to the green, I would not be eligible for the welcome offer on the green. So just keep in mind that some issuers do allow for repeat sign-up bonuses for the same card, so it's good to know which one does and doesn't. Now, let's just say that you want to just get out the credit card game and just cancel that credit card. So your best option is simply just calling it up and cancel. But before you do that, just make sure that you can pay off the balance within 30 days if there is any. There's really no point of closing if you can't get rid of the balance. Now, if you cannot pay off the balance in time, there's another option that you can consider, which is transferring the balance. But keep in mind that this usually comes at a cost. A balance transfer is just moving a balance from one credit card to another. I don't really recommend doing this unless you have a 0% balance transfer credit card or unless you're confident that you could pay off the balance relatively quickly. The next thing to consider is that if you got some points or cash back on that credit card, it is a good idea to use them before closing an account. See, normally when you close an account, you lose those points and cash back. But wait, there is an exception. Let's just say that you have multiple Chase credit cards that earn Chase Ultimate Reward points. In that case, all of your points are pooled into one account. So closing one credit card won't make you lose those points. But if you only have one Chase credit card, let's say, and 10,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points, and you close that account, bye-bye points. So it's best to either transfer those points to another rewards account or just use them up. Oh, and one more thing. If there is an authorized user on your account, it's just common courtesy to let them know that you are going to be closing that card. Their credit score might be affected because authorized users kind of hitch a ride on the credit card's history. If they haven't had the time to build their credit yet, then closing an account can cause a big drop. Now, I'm not saying that this should stop you from closing your credit card if that's what you want to do. After all, it is your credit card and your credit profile. An authorized user is just along for the ride on your road trip. Now, once you've figured out all the steps, it's time to give customer service a call. Look for the contact number on the back of your credit card and let them know that you want to cancel. While you are chatting with them, I suggest asking if you can transfer your credit limit to another card if it is within the same company. For example, let's just say that you have two Chase credit cards, each with a $5,000 credit limit. If you decide to close one, ask if you can move that $5,000 limit to the other card. This way, even after closing one card, you still have a total credit limit of $10,000. Now, I only recommend doing this if you want to maintain that credit limit. If not, then it's really no big deal, especially if you are looking to get a new credit card. So before you close a credit card, just make sure that you take all of this into consideration. And if you are deciding to leave your credit card open, just make note that you have to use it at least once a year or so the credit card issuer does not automatically close your account. And if you want to hang out with me some more and learn more about credit, come check out these videos over here.